the city of the sun. You could have stayed, it's only over when the day is done. I never knew you was a runner, yeah. I mistook you for a son. It don't matter what we think when it's all over. 'Cause this is our last chance to leave it all behind. Raise your voice and raise your power, yeah. This is our last chance to leave it all behind. Raise your voice and raise your power, yeah.
Archie, is it fun?
Fun.
Fun.
After me. Ready? Happy?
Happy.
New?
New?
New.
Was wrong to say I wouldn't change a thing, 'cause in the story of our lives, the best of times through colored glass, time moves on enough to let me move on past, but every little now and then it creeps on back to shape my smile.
I believe this is the last tweet that I have regarding the leftovers, and then I'm gonna start talking about As Ever. Why the packet watchers are really mad. January 2026, when it was revealed that As Ever earned millions in sales, the British press discredited Meghan's success because Netflix, quote, will get a large chunk of that, end quote. Today, they are fuming because the company is growing and it's all hers. 12 seconds.
It really belongs to Netflix, so it's
God.
actually quite a complicated business
It is.
deal.
Well, yeah, it's worth mentioning that if we're talking like 20 odd million pounds of sales, Netflix would get a large chunk of that.
It really belongs to
Okay.
Netflix, so it's actually quite a complicated.
It's going over. There's me laughing here regarding the packet watchers. You're right. But they refuse to watch the taxpayers' funders. Alright, jealousy and envy is a bitter pill, considering they were silent partners. And what sense of reality did they think Netflix was holding the majority stake? I understand why they do this podcast and the peanut pay appearances on podcasts, cause clearly that's what they're worth. No critical or just general thinking. Correct. They have no idea what the spill was, but this is the narrative that they try to sell, that the success had nothing to do with Meghan's effort, but all to do with Netflix name. And of course, they want folks to believe she's broke, so there's the end. Netflix took a chunk of crap. They don't know what they signed. Alright, yeah, they're just crazy and very intellectually challenged, because If it was vice versa, this scenario would have been them buying her out, not her buying them out, and going solo despite the perks. Her options now are otherworldly. I'm waiting to see the tax return to see the real figures that let's pretend one. Well, this is not the foundation thing. As Ever is a private business. I don't think this could be made public unless if Harry decided to. Well, Meghan, because this is Meghan. Let me pause and look. Can a private business tax return or something can be made public or something like that? I don't know. Yeah, that's what I thought, because As Ever is a private company. Private company tax returns are not public and are strictly confidential under IRS Section 6103, protecting them from public disclosure. Unlike public traded companies that file with SEC, private firms generally do not have to release financial information. However, tax-exempt organization Form 990 are public record. Okay? The foundation, Archwell, that can be public because they are getting tax exempt. They will want to know whatever they did with the money that they receive or they put out, whatnot. But As Ever is a private company. Let's look this up. We already know, but let's see what Google says. Sometimes Google do make mistake too. This is what I ask. Is As Ever, I put it in quotation mark, a private company? Let's see. As Ever, formerly American Riviera Orchard, is a private, independent lifestyle brand founded by Meghan, Duchess of Sussex, based in Santa Barbara, California. It is a private. We're not going to see it. Okay? It's private. However, Archwell, wait, can we find Archwell here? Okay. Let's ask. I already know Archwell is a... what is it? Foundation. All right, this could be public. Okay, is Archwell a private company? It should say no. Okay, there it is here. Archwell is not a single private company, but rather an umbrella organization founded by Prince Harry and Meghan. Okay, two different things. Two different things. As Ever is private. We're not. If Meghan doesn't, obviously she's not gonna put it public because those derangers will run their mouth nonstop. So we already know this is private. As Ever is private. Archwell, on the other hand, is public. When they usually put their financial thing out, that's when we will see Archwell. Okay? So these people, they can differentiate these things. Okay? I'm waiting to see tax return to see the real figure. Not the, okay, let's see. I read that already. Why are you watching her pockets? Okay, so let me go grab those information I just looked and paste them there. Let me pause. I thought I was recording, so I just paste this just now and I realized I wasn't recording. Okay, so I responded to this. I responded and my response is, sorry, you will not be seeing As Ever tax return. It is a private company, unlike Archwell. So I took some screenshot regarding As Ever, saying it's a private company, and Archwell, which is a organization, and the last one is saying in term under tax return in the US, private company, you're not, the tax return is private, pretty much. Okay, so that's that. And let me black it because I don't want to see the response. Alright, so I'm gonna go to the next tweet. I already spent too much time on this, getting the information, but not recording because I paused. Next one. Okay, so this is Variety talking about the new transform or modified deal with Harry and Meghan with As Ever. Okay, Netflix has backed out as an investor in As Ever, the lifestyle brand from Meghan Markle. I'm thinking, I don't know, maybe whatever agreement they had, their new structure, maybe there was some sort of a leeway. And I'm trying to think, okay, just my crazy thinking. It's not written anywhere. With what was happening between Netflix and what was the other, there was something that was going on where a lot of Americans were having issues with Netflix. What was it? I think I report on it too. What was it? Oh my God. Let me pause and find out. While I was typing the question, I remember regarding Melania movie, and it didn't do too well. A lot of Americans wanted to boost up Michelle Obama's Netflix docuseries, and then Netflix decided to remove the category that what was it, becoming or something like that. Okay, now I remember that was the issue. So I'm wondering if this had anything to do with it, because I remember saying in one of my videos that if this is the way Netflix is going about it, I don't mind cutting out Netflix. Okay, because my husband is done with Netflix. I'm the one who's telling him to keep it, because when Meghan come out with her shows, her lifestyle thing, I want to watch them. So that was the issue. Okay, in early 2026, Netflix faced significant backlash from American subscribers, primarily driven by continued price hikes, restriction on password sharing, and the removal of features. Okay, but the main thing I remember focusing on was with Michelle Obama. You see, this one didn't even mention it. These frustrations were compounded by a general dissatisfaction with content quality and the rapid consecutive cancellation of several shows. Alright, let's see here. Alright, so there's more. But for me, my channel was focusing about the Michelle Obama thing. I never really follow up with it because there's so many things going on Twitter and the news around the world. Okay, so that was the issue. Okay, back to this. Netflix has backed out as an investor in As Ever, the lifestyle brand for Meghan Markle. A Netflix spokesperson said, quote, Meghan's passion for elevating everyday moments in beautiful yet simple ways inspired the creation of the As Ever brand, and we are glad to have played a role in bringing that vision to life. As it was always intended, Meghan will continue growing the brand and take it into its next chapter independently. We look forward to celebrating her. She continues to bring joy to households around the world. Okay, so there's that. Netflix out as investor. As a matter of fact, that's good, because all of the profit will be for her. It's not like As Ever is not doing well. It's doing very well. So there's no profit sharing. Alright, they didn't back out. They parted ways amicably. There's a difference. Stop using Meghan for clicks. You absolutely know what you're doing. Alright. When did Variety become such a trash for clickbait? Why can't you write a decent article? Why can't you people just tell the truth? But you got to copy and run behind British tabs and write the same BS that they write. I'm done with you, Variety. Stupid and misleading. Okay, I didn't read the thing. Alright, so there's the rest here. Let's go. You know what? Let me read what's on the screen. Stupid and misleading reporting. This is the reason no one trusts the media. Always looking for negative spin. When your brand begins to fail, remember this post as the catalyst. Alright, Netflix pulling out doesn't mean the brand is over. They helped get it started, and now Meghan's taking it forward on her own. Partnership change all the time, and I believe this is just the next chapter for her. Alright, so the thing is doing very well. As Ever is doing very well. Next tweet, making reference to As Ever as well. Oh my God, 19 minutes. Alright, so there's this here. Here's both As Ever and Netflix statement on As Ever going solo. Netflix then have to release its own statement. They did it in support of Meghan and As Ever, knowing how malicious the UK media is. May Netflix and Archwell production partnership live long and prosper. Alright, 1 minute and 32 seconds. I'm wondering if this from IG. Probably.
Meghan Markle's lifestyle brand, As Ever, is never more at Netflix. But fans of the lifestyle brand don't fear, because it's continuing on as an independent entity with an apparent exciting year ahead. Meghan and Netflix both announcing the dissolution of their partnership regarding her lifestyle brand, called As Ever, March 6th, in press releases to People magazine. A spokesperson for the brand writing, As Ever is grateful for Netflix's partnership through launch and our first year. We have experienced meaningful and rapid growth, and As Ever is now ready to stand on its own. We have an exciting year ahead and can't wait to share more. Netflix also chiming in, writing, Meghan's passion for elevating everyday moments in beautiful yet simple ways inspired the creation of the As Ever brand, and we are glad to have played a role in bringing that vision to life. Netflix adds that Meghan will continue growing the brand into its next chapter independently. During its first year of operations, As Ever, which was originally named American Riviera Orchard, has sold a variety of products through its website, like fruit spreads, teas, and chocolate bars. Meghan sharing in this Instagram video February 2025 that the name As Ever has been one she's had on her mind since 2022, and means, quote, as it's always been, admitting she's always been obsessed with curating home goods. She adds, this is what I do. Jam is my jam.
Okay, so that's that. Okay, let's pause this. What is this about? Okay, there's a lot of emojis. Now, I'm sure Mama told young Meghan the world was her oyster if she only put in the work. Meghan was intelligent. She is still. Meghan was intelligent at that young age to know what it meant. She continues to show up with her multifaceted greatness. All right, I'm really happy. There's the heart here. Best wishes and congrats to Meghan. If this was the plan all along, business is hard, especially doing it alone. Martha Stewart built a worldwide brand with aid of TV. Will be interesting to see how As Ever fares without Netflix reach. Lots of questions, but rooting for her. She's brave. I mean, from what I'm seeing, okay, yes, there was that partnership with Netflix doing the shows and stuff like that. But in my view, I think like on IG, I could be wrong. A lot of these things was doing well on social media, online. Yes, Netflix show her As Ever with Love Meghan. Yes, it helps, but I don't know. I guess it went far enough to put her on her feet. I don't know. Depending on the agreement that they had. I don't want to discredit Netflix, but I think she could still be doing okay without Netflix because of her fan base. Since the TIG, with all of her fan base, I think, let's say if As Ever with Love Meghan was not on Netflix, I think she would still be doing okay online. But the Netflix, I don't know. They had their agreement. I don't know. Maybe I'm missing something and I'm not online all the time. Nicely done. That was the last comment. Let's go to the next tweet. Alright, so there's the squad. We all are excited. The world is excited for HRH Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex. Listen to this breakdown of the As Ever news, please. Click on the link here. Alright, let's listen. What's her name? I think it's Erica or something. Oh wow, it's long. I usually like her analysis. Let's listen.
So let's talk about the news of the day, which I'm actually excited about. I don't know about the rest of y'all, but I'm excited about it. So Meghan and Netflix have parted ways with her As Ever brand. They're no longer partners of the As Ever brand, which we all knew was going to be temporary. I didn't think that they were going to be on here for 10, 15 years. That's not how partnerships work. So they let her go because they gave her the training wheels. The training wheels are off, and they said, ride that bike into the sunset, girlie. You got this. So Meghan is going through a good thing. It's called the pain of growth. And I saw this happen at my own job because I work at a place where it was pretty much a mom and pop shop. And we went through the pain of growth because our workload became overwhelming. We needed a new team. We needed more executive types who knew how to break up the workload and bring in those clients. Like, there were things that we needed help on because we were literally sitting on a pile of money, a pile of jobs, and going, we can't do it all because we just didn't have the know-it-all and the networking around it. So we went through the pain of growth at my company, and now I believe at our last team meeting, we're like, a $6 billion company. Not bad for a mom and pop shop, right? Mm-hmm. So this is the same thing Meghan's going through. She's going through growing pains with her company, and that everybody globally wants a piece of her. If they can't get her, they're finding loopholes on how to get her products. Every time she drops something new, it can't stay in inventory. And even when things were not staying in inventory and she expanded it by the millions, it still can't stay in inventory. She had to make a decision to say, guys, I need to go global. And that's where Netflix probably said, we have to jump off. You need a bigger team who was familiar with consumables. Now, a lot of people say, well, Netflix knows what to do about global stuff. Not consumables and not homeware. No, they don't. No, they don't.
They're more entertainment.
You definitely need people who understand. And by the way, I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow with all the chaos going on in the world.
Yeah.
So she needs people who can talk to her about things like that. Your tariffs, your taxes, your VAT, all that. So, bars. But she needs people who can talk to her about that and actually give her input on where she should start. Can I raise my hand to something? I think
I'm laughing when she said that. Can I raise my hand? She's recording her thing. But what she says is very interesting. Okay, this is what happened. When you listen to smart people, they know things. So I agree with everything that she has said so far. Because when I read some tweets for you guys, I'm hearing people or reading people from different part of the world, Australia, France, you name it, or asking when they're gonna get Meghan's product. So in that aspect, I understand what Erica's saying. And also we have to take into consideration with the war that's going on and the tariff as well. Now, the other day, I think in one of my podcasts on Happy Team Sussex, I touched on the tariff aspect of things, because I think in the United States the discussion went up to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court struck down Trump's kind of tariff. Let me pause and look it up. All right, the question that I asked is, what did the Supreme Court rule on Trump's tariff? Did they say 2 days ago states led by New York sue to block Trump latest tariff? There was a ruling on it, and I reported on it. What did the Supreme Court rule on Trump versus the United States? Let's see if this is it here. Trump versus the United States 2024. That's all. Let me pause for a second again. I think it's in the first one right here. The court granted the petitions and non-solidated the case held IEEPA does not authorize the president to impose tariff. All right, it's not Trump's business to get into all of that. I'm telling you, Trump is effing everything in the United States. He's putting his hand in things that does not apply to him, including the war. He didn't even ask Congress permission to do what he did to Iran. Okay, so this is the answer here. Let's go back to that. So the Supreme Court is telling Trump, you don't have the authority to place tariff on things. Okay, so all of this play a role in it. I did touch it in one of my videos not too long ago, slightly before the war thing started happening. It could even be before the Epstein things, but whatever. But let's continue. Erica has a very good point. Maybe because of what the Supreme Court had said, made Meghan to rethink her business with As Ever, because I think she focused on the U.S. only because of the tariff. Because if you're buying, let's say, oh, I don't know, I didn't buy anything, $20-$40 thing from her website, and then because of tariff you ended up paying $80, could be the same thing as the price you purchased it, because of the tax they're imposing on it. All right, so I think the tariff might have something to do with that. And adding to what Erica have said, getting people who knows how to go about it to do business internationally. Okay, and then let's not forget, Netflix is in the business of entertainment in terms of music, and movies, I mean. Okay, so those kind of things may not fit to Netflix kind of agenda. All right, so Erica raised a very good point here, and I add my crazy thing to it, my opinion. I move it back, okay?
Where? No, they don't. No, they don't. You definitely need people who understand. And by the way, I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow with all the chaos going on in the world. So she needs people who can talk to her about things like that. Your tariffs, your taxes,
That's
your
it.
that, all of that. So, bars. But she needs people who can talk to her about that and actually give her input on where she should start. Can I raise my hand to something? I think the global thing should at least wait a year or two until everything cools down.
Yeah.
Until whatever the current leadership is going on here, they either die off or go fuck themselves. I think that she should put As Ever into more stores. And I am very, very prejudiced towards big box stores. I'm not trying to be a financial snob. It's just that I like the quaint and cozy stores that have all the high-end stuff in it. Because if I'm walking up in there, I'm ready to spend money and I'm not sticker shocked. I think she needs to go in a place like that. We have a place like that near me. I love that place. That place always has my favorite jalapeno jam. I can only get it in July, unfortunately. But that's the type of atmosphere she needs to be in before she can say, okay, here's the global network here. You guys can all get it. And she's going to get there. She's going to get there slowly yet surely.
And I think she has been doing that with Godmothers. And what was the other thing with, was it 9021 or Rodeo Drive or something like that? JTB have gone to some of those. I think she should continue with this. And that will help, which was one of the things that I've said in past videos, is that to get foot traffic in, to help those small businesses as well. Okay, let's say I'm going into the store to buy a As Ever product. Okay, and this business might want something else in there, and I might buy something else. So I think this is where she should focusing on, because yeah, pretty much what Erica's saying. I really hate the big box stores because they're taking away from mom and pop's shops. So if Meghan team up or do partnership with smaller stores, neighborhood stores, that might help. So again, I agree with Erica. She's good. I'm moving it back slightly again.
I can only get it in July, unfortunately. But that's the type of atmosphere she needs to be in before she can say, okay, here's the global network here. You guys can all get it. And she's going to get there. She's going to get there slowly yet surely. I am giving her all the allowance in the world to take her time because, once again, this is a year-long business. It hasn't been out for 2 years, 3 years, 4 years.
That's right.
And, you know, she just has to learn from the overwhelming interest in her business and brand. Think about this. How is it that a girl or a woman decides to part ways with her partner and it's global news? And you want to tell me that there's nothing there? Baby, there's something there and there's more to come. And Meghan, also, we need more chocolate for Easter, and we need those homeware / home goods on the site by Easter, because you can't sell crepes without proper pans, wink wink, and aprons, whack whack, and tea without teapots and teacups and tea plates, wink wink. I'm just saying, just throwing it out there. Anyway, congratulations, Meghan. You all have a great weekend. Not you, derangers. You have a fucked up weekend. But the rest of you have a great weekend. Bye. Hi, everyone. So let's...
I'm going to let it play again. 4 minutes. I'm going to let it play again without any interruption.
So let's talk about the news of the day, which I'm actually excited about. I don't know about the rest of y'all, but I'm excited about it. So Meghan and Netflix have parted ways with her As Ever brand. They're no longer partners of the As Ever brand, which we all knew was going to be temporary. I didn't think that they were going to be on here for 10, 15 years. That's not how partnerships work. So they let her go because they gave her the training wheels. The training wheels are off, and they said, ride that bike into the sunset, girlie. You got this. So Meghan is going through a good thing. It's called the pain of growth. And I saw this happen at my own job because I work at a place where it was pretty much a mom and pop shop. And we went through the pain of growth because our workload became overwhelming. We needed a new team. We needed more executive types who knew how to break up the workload and bring in those clients. Like, there were things that we needed help on, because we were literally sitting on a pile of money, a pile of jobs, and going, we can't do it all, because we just didn't have the know-it-all and the networking around it. So we went through the pain of growth at my company, and now I believe at our last team meeting, we're like a $6 billion company. Not bad for a mom and pop shop, right? So this is the same thing Meghan's going through. She's going through growing pains with her company, and that everybody globally wants a piece of her. If they can't get her, they're finding loopholes on how to get her products. Every time she drops something new, it can't stay in inventory. And even when things were not staying in inventory and she expanded it by the millions, it still can't stay in inventory. She had to make a decision to say, guys, I need to go global. And that's where Netflix probably said, we have to jump off. You need a bigger team who was familiar with consumables. Now, a lot of people say, well, Netflix knows what to do about global stuff. Not consumables and not homeware. No, they don't. No, they don't. You definitely need people who understand. And by the way, I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow with all the chaos going on in the world. So she needs people who can talk to her about things like that. Your tariffs, your taxes, your VAT, all of that. So, bars. But she needs people who can talk to her about that and actually give her input on where she should start. Can I raise my hand to something? I think the global thing should at least wait a year or two until everything cools down, until whatever the current leadership is going on here, they either die off or go fuck themselves. I think that she should put As Ever into more stores. And I am very, very prejudiced towards big box stores. I'm not trying to be a financial snob. It's just that I like the quaint and cozy stores that have all the high-end stuff in it. Because if I'm walking up in there, I'm ready to spend money and I'm not sticker shocked. I think she needs to go in a place like that. We have a place like that near me. I love that place. That place always has my favorite jalapeno jam. I can only get it in July, unfortunately. But that's the type of atmosphere she needs to be in before she can say, okay, here's the global network here. You guys can all get it. And she's going to get there. She's going to get there slowly yet surely. I am giving her all the allowance in the world to take her time, because once again, this is a year-long business. It hasn't been out for 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. And, you know, she just has to learn from the overwhelming interest in her business and brand. Think about this. How is it that a girl or a woman decides to part ways with her partner and it's global news? And you want to tell me that there's nothing there? Baby, there's something there, and there's more to come. And Meghan, also, we need more chocolate for Easter, and we need those homeware/home goods on the site by Easter, because you can't sell crepes without proper pans, wink, wink, and aprons, wink, wink, and tea without teapots and teacups and tea plates, wink, wink. I'm just saying, just throwing it out there. Anyway, congratulations, Meghan. You all have a great weekend. Not you, derangers. You have a fucked up weekend. But the rest of you have a great weekend. Bye. Hi, everyone.
Okay, so I thought I played again without me interrupting, because she always have some good analysis on different topics. Okay, me think As Ever will expand into international shipping through Amazon, unlimited SKUs on customers' faves. Meghan Markle could become a billionaire in 2 years from selling raspberry and apricot jam globally only. That's the laugh, yeah? She doesn't even need to sell the rest of the other products. Okay, I never worry about Meghan's success. She's been gold from the get-go. What other new brand sells out in minutes every single time. I love her, and she's fantastic. And she's a fantastic role model for my granddaughters. All right. There's a video I did. Could it be 2020 or 2021? At the earlier on PYTE, my early videos when I started looking into her. I will never forget this. I was camping, and it probably around this time. Right now it's 7. They changed the time. What is it? Daylight saving time changed today. But anyway, I was camping, and I got up before everybody, and I got out of the tent, and I was thinking about Meghan, all the issues that she was going through. And I was like, she could be a role model for many young people with the things that she's going through, how she navigates through it. Let me see, if I remember the thumbnails, I'll show you the thumbnails of that video. Okay, my British pound or at the ready. I can't wait. I love her. Everyone have a great weekend. Not you, the Rangers. Have a effed up weekend. LOL. I know that was kind of funny. All right, next tweet. Okay, so I spent too much time on this. I let it play. Okay, so that's JTB. Another good one. I love their analysis. Quick update. Meghan's lifestyle brand, as ever, is moving forward independently after its launch partnership with Netflix. The brand is growing and Meghan now has full control of the next phase. Also could open the door for international shipping fans have been asking for. Yeah, the thing is that the profit, all hers. 100% profit will go toward her. And I hope she make enough money to start thinking of creating her own platform, her own, what do you call this, studio, not studio, like Oprah, what did it, network, that's it, network. So let's listen to this, 2 minutes and 9 seconds.
All right, before the derangers start their foil hat wearing conspiracy theories, let's clear something up real quick. Meghan did not get dumped by Netflix. What actually happened is very normal in business. Meghan launched her lifestyle brand As Ever with Netflix. They helped incubate the early phase. The show helped introduce the brand, build visibility, and create momentum. Now the brand has grown enough to stand on its own. That's the facts. As Ever expanded quickly, and now Meghan is taking full control of the brand moving forward. Which, if you understand how partnerships work, is actually a pretty standard next step. You partner with a major platform to launch. You build the audience. You establish the brand identity. Then once the foundation is there, the founder takes the wheel. This could actually open even more doors because when the brand is tied to a streaming partnership, there can be limitations around distribution, licensing, and logistics. Once it's fully independent, Meghan can scale it however she wants, which means something a lot of international fans have been asking for could actually become possible now. International shipping. People in the UK, Europe, Canada, Australia, Africa, they have all been asking when they'll be able to buy As Ever products. Taking the brand fully independent could make that expansion way easier. Harry and Meghan still maintain a working relationship with Netflix for future projects. So the partnership didn't explode. The business model just evolved. It's a founder moving from launch phase into full ownership of her company. And if you know anything about building brands, that's actually the goal. So when the trolls start screaming, Netflix dumped Meghan, just remember, no. Netflix helped launch The Runway. The brand gained traction. Now, Meghan's flying the plane herself. That's exactly how successful businesses grow. And that's the read. This is the notorious JTB, notoriously opinionated, signing out.
This is what I love with the squad. Erica, JTB, the analysis. There's other one too. Martin, for instance. I haven't come across his video on this topic, but they all have some really good, intelligent, business-minded analysis on many of those issues. Let's see here. She's used a UK company to make her bookmarks, not the sign being there the whole time. International fans are getting so close. Yeah, I really think whatever, that's an ad, whatever the Supreme Court ruling recently may have played a role into that. I truly believe that. Because not too long ago, I was talking about it. Meghan is growing, As Ever will fly. Yes, indeed. Go Meghan Sussex, go. Meghan will be working hard to increase her stock for international shipping. The demand for As Ever internationally will blow Meghan's mind. That's the heart here. I'm in. Just a reminder, McDonald's also divested from Chipotle. Oh, did they? Well, I don't really follow these things anyway. So it's very common and normal for a company to incubate a startup and then split once it's established and can function on its own for continued growth. If not for their unnecessary hate for Meghan Markle, will we even need to explain something like this? Okay. Will we even need to explain something this simple? Well, I don't think this is simple. If you are into business, especially if you went to school and business, you know how business is structured, how things happen. I mean, there could be how do you call this? A puzzle. They will tell you one part of the puzzle. Since you're in the business aspect, you could know what the other part that is removed from the puzzle that they didn't tell you. So if you are into business, you will know these things. If you're not into business, those kind of explanation should be explained to other people. Am I making sense? Because when you know something, it's easy. But someone who's not into all of that may not know. Okay? I'm not disagreeing with this person at all. I'm not disagreeing. Yes, because of the derangers, because they always blow things out of proportion. So that I truly agree. But not everybody knows the structure or how business work. Okay? It's really not complicated. Yes, it is. It is kind of complicated. If you're not into that. If, let's say, I'm explaining something about architecture. There's a couple of videos that I have done in the past, not on this channel, could be on Happy Team Sussex, regarding Greenfell. And I talk about the walls and fireproofing and things like that. For an architect, I'm not licensed, by the way. Keep that in mind. I'm not licensed. For an architect who does that every single day, it's easy for him or her. But for the regular person who's not into how building is structured for safety and all of that, you'll find it very complicated. Okay? So don't think just because you know the thing, other people might know it too. Not everybody knows it. Alright? It's not complicated, but when people are blinded by hate, even the most obvious things suddenly become confusing. I agree with her to a certain extent, but not everybody knows everything. Let me see. There's 3 comments under it here. Okay, exactly. They are online with their fake ignorant glee. She's a failure. Netflix dropped her. It's simple. She's been dumped. No. Okay, this is for the people. They refuse to see reality even if they explain it. And by the way, in one of my videos that I was doing for Happy Team Sussex, there are some influencers who are suing Israel because they've been doing the propaganda for Israel. Now that Israel is being bombed, I don't know if mainstream media is talking about it. Many of their infrastructures, things that they use for their defense, is being bombed, and people, they are in the run. Now the influencers who were doing the negative propaganda online for them wants to be compensated. All right, so these derangers who's doing this nonsense to get paid, they're destroying their own future. Okay, I did a long rant on one of my videos on Happy Team Sussex regarding that. Alright, let me finish with this and move on. I'm Canadian and my mom got me some of the food spread for Christmas. She had the spread sent to a friend in the US who then sent it to us. International shipping for As Ever will be great. Okay, they keep expecting the worst about Meghan, but they will continue to hear nothing but joyous and prosperous news about her, for whom God has blessed. No man nor woman can curse. All right, let's go to the next tweet. There's more comment, but let's move on. I spent too much time on this. I need to do another video regarding what's happening in the Middle East. All right, next tweet. Along their journey, Harry and Meghan have met many guardian angels, and the way Netflix was like, quote, "Let us stand beside you until you can do it on your own. For As Ever just proves it even more. I'm so happy for Meghan." All right. Absolutely. Let's pause this. Absolutely. Good people stand by and uplift good people, just as good businesses support and uplift good businesses to make excellent partnership. There's all those hashtags. So please, for her and their family. Truly, there's that. Holy F, I've never laughed so hard. Okay, the derangers will come. That's the rest of the comment. I don't want to read the negative thing. I have enough thing. I don't know why my computer keeps making that noise. Okay, I have 3 more left after this. Okay, the media meltdown over the last 12 hours only proved one thing: Meghan's influence is unmatched. While outlets spend every move, the world literally stops to watch. After a year of rapid growth, her brand is ready to stand on its own. She isn't just in the news, she is the news. Alright, so there's these pictures here. Alright, they are celebrating her failure because it wants they have always hoped for her to fail, except that it is a success story and celebration. I mean, can these people put one and one together? Every last thing, grand opening Meghan put out, it sold out. Now that Netflix decided to part ways, in a way, the way that I see it, automatically, whatever profit she make from her things that being sold out, all the profit is going to her. Okay, she will pay her employees and whoever's other company she's dealing with, pay them off and whatnot, and then the extra, the profit will go to her only. She's not gonna split it with Netflix. Oh my God, at least that I could understand when it comes to business. All right, let's do this and then that's it. Let's pause this. They want her to fail so badly. They have tried everything to destroy her. They hate she is still standing. I hope Meghan becomes a billionaire off the back of all the hate they have created. It was like Netflix invested and now she hit whatever goal needed. So now they can both step away from the brand deal. Doesn't mean they want still the production work. Good for her. Okay, absolutely effing not. Okay, next tweet. Now we're talking about Australia. Two more and then that's it with this video. Okay, Harry and Meghan are heading to Australia in mid-April. Alright, so there's that. There they are here. I hope she brings some As Ever product to whoever she's gonna visit it. Okay, so there's no comment. That's it. Next tweet. One more after this and then that'll be it. Prince Harry and Meghan will travel to Australia in April for a mix of private business and philanthropic engagement. 2026 is the 5-year anniversary of Invictus Australia. Australia just enacted groundbreaking social media laws, and As Ever will be launching international shipping in Australia and New Zealand. How do we know? Did they say that? Maybe they're gonna start talking how they could do the shipping things with Australia. Maybe. I mean, when they travel, that's one thing I know. They don't go for one thing. They do multiple things. We saw when they went to, what was it? Was it Germany? The 1 year leading to the Germany Invictus. Later on we find out she went to so many places. Yeah. Alright, so this is Chris Chip. Confirmation from Harry and Meghan's office that they will visit Australia next month. A spokesperson said the Duke and Duchess of Sussex will visit Australia in mid-April to take part in a number of private business and philanthropic engagement. Further details will be shared in due course. Their first royal tour as a couple was to Australia in 2018. Alright, Sussexes are launching As Ever in Australia, New Zealand before the UK. There's the laugh here. Oh, heads will be spiraling at KP. Let's say allegedly, I don't know. Lovely, that's an ad. Okay, Sussex big moves. I'm dancing with joy. Australia and New Zealand before the UK, or are they already shipping there? There's one comment under it. No, still waiting here in the UK. I went over his account and a lot of people very happy about this. Once commenting, it has been years since William and Kate did a royal tour. The Australian and New Zealand squad is about to go crazy. They get As Ever too. Wow, talk about being God's favorite. Chris Chip pretending he is still in the know. Excellent. Alright, so this is my last one. I'm sure we will be hearing more about this this coming week. Alright, breaking. The spokesperson for the Duke and Duchess of Sussex confirmed that Harry and Meghan will visit Australia in mid-April to take part in the number of private business and philanthropic engagement. Further details will be shared in due course. Alright, same thing repeating. Alright, the royal couple's Aussie visit has been in the works for almost a year, confirmed to Australian News. Okay, there's that. It's likely that Harry's plan will involve Australia's armed forces or veterans community. He also has a number of friends locally fostered across multiple previous visits, including during his month-long stay with the ADF at an army barrack in Darwin back in 2015. Meghan will appear as a guest star on the Bestie Company podcast, Her Best Life, which was initially launched and co-hosted by Jackie O. Anderson and Gemma O'Neill. The Duchess will also make a special speaking appearance at the Bestie event. Alright, there's that. Besides visiting Australia in 2015 and 2018, Prince Harry lived in the country during his gap year 2003. He wrote in Spare that working as a jackal on a farm in rural Queensland had helped him find inner peace during what were some of the best weeks of his life. Really hope this is true. It is. They definitely have a leaker in their camp. There's the thanking face here. Let's see. There's one comment. Their statement come on. Okay, so they said they put a statement out. Oh yeah, I hope they come to my state. These two are going to kill the royal family one of these days. I mean, how do they keep shining after all the dirt? There's that. I'm sure the coroner will be thrilled. Good news. Okay, so that is it. Okay, this is extra. You could pause and read. Oh, maybe this I'll let it play. Let me add this. Financial independence is what gives you the freedom of choice. And I think in this day and age, we all need to be able to have our autonomy. Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex. Okay, let's listen to this. 1 minute and 6 seconds.
Independence is what gives you the freedom of choice. And I think in this day and age, we all need to be able to have our autonomy. That is a huge element of that. Financial literacy, for that reason, is something that I spend a lot of time on, specifically for young girls and their empowerment. And I think as women, especially in a room like this, we can all probably agree that as women, when we're supporting each other for all of these elements that might not necessarily be the ones that people want to hear us talk about, there's nothing taboo. Doesn't need to be anything taboo about talking about our financial independence or our independence overall. And as women, when we support each other, we are not simply supporting each other's lives, we're supporting each other's legacies. And that's the piece that's so powerful. When I'm supporting or investing in another female founder, I am investing in what she's going to do for the culture, for her business, the legacy she's going to leave, how that brand, if it's a CPG brand, is going to show up in people's homes. So it is all fundamentally important, and I don't think it's a conversation we should shy away from. I think it's one that we should really embrace together.
Alright, so that's it. I'm not gonna go in the comment. I need to stop. It's exactly almost an hour. Okay, so please take a moment to subscribe, like, and share. If you want to support this channel, there's a PayPal link and a Cash App link in the description. You could donate. Those who have donated, thank you. So I'm gonna do another video. This video is gonna be on App Your Team Sussex. That will be the first tweet here. This one. Okay, so go on App Your Team Sussex for this. I'll be talking about what's going on in the Middle East, some TikTok videos, whatnot. Okay, so that's it. Thank you for watching.